Hello, this is a Deka Mercenary spotlight on Deka. Deka is a powerful warrior who only seeks to refine himself through battle. Despite being regarded as one of the best warriors in the world, he still lost to Elijah in a duel. Damn Elijah and their concentrated fire. Deka's companion is Kurazan. Kurazan fought many battles alongside with Deka. He thinks that Deka lost to Elijah on purpose because he fell in love with her. Now that's scandalous. Deka and Kurazan makes a powerful pair. Deka is known to strike fiercely, while Kurazan is unrelenting. I'll briefly go over Deka's skills, gameplay style, and provide some of my opinions on him. I won't be going over the details of his skills, but just the general parts of it. I linked the Brave Knight Encyclopedia in the video description where you can easily read on the stats and skill values. Deka's first skill is Enhancement Nullifier. Before Deka's normal attack, he removes all stat enhancements from the enemy. At +3 and above, Deka also applies Stat Enhancement Prohibition, which will prevent enemies from receiving stat enhancement buffs. This debuff is a prohibition and thus could be applied even onto debuff immune targets. Deka's second skill is Stun. Deka applies the Stun attack interference onto his enemies after a normal attack. Stunned enemies are inoperable and will skip their turn if it comes up. At +12 and above, Deka's stun also comes with an increase to incoming damage taken. Deka's third skill is Ultimate Strike. Deka deals additional damage after normal attack based on his attack stat. At +6 and above, Deka will also heal 50% of his max life if Ultimate Strike kills an enemy. Deka's awakening skill is Atrocious Wrath. Deka deals additional damage based on his attack when his HP is below 99%. Deka's gameplay is fairly straightforward. Deka works effectively as an AoE disabler and damage dealer. Deka's ability to remove stat enhancements and apply a long-term stat enhancement prohibition onto units is remarkably strong. Stat enhancement prohibition not only prevents a unit from receiving stat enhancement buffs from supports, but will also block their own stat enhancement provided by their skills. Furthermore, Deka applies a very long stun that comes with incoming damage taken as a result. Deka's subsequent Ultimate Strike will deal a lot of damage to units who are not immune to attack interferences. To put it simply, Deka hits hard, and on the off chance that the enemy survives, they may not be properly functional. Lastly, Deka's attack tiles are very good. As of this patch, Deka is the most powerful skip warrior that hits plus tile, as there aren't many 5-star options that perform this niche well. I'll go over what Deka counters. Deka's stat enhancement prohibition can cause a lot of problems to many other units. Mora is a defender who gains powerful and unremovable stat enhancements after she attacks. Deka's enhancement prohibition can severely weaken her in that she no longer gains these stats. Mora needs those stats to do more damage and reach 100% defense, and if she doesn't obtain either, she becomes a much more mediocre unit. Cry, Maxwell, IN, and Exile are other units who have conditions where they can gain stats such as offensive stats or defense. Deka's stat enhancement prohibition can cause issues for these units as well. Deka's stat enhancement prohibition can also cause a lot of problems for supports. Hephaestus has a lot of issues with Deka because Deka can remove her impressive stat enhancement buff with his attack alone. Furthermore, the prohibition will prevent her buffed allies to also gain 100% defense on attacking, which can make them vulnerable to counters. It also goes without saying that Deka deals a lot of damage and can simply kill units off with his damage alone. I'll go over some Deka counters now. Despite his bulky looking appearance, Deka is a glass cannon. He has no defensive skills, so any buffed warrior can easily kill him. Scarlet is by far the best counter to Deka in Novice Arena. Scarlet's ability to curse Deka and reduce his attack tile to 1 is one of the most powerful ways to reduce Deka's effectiveness. She can also just straight out kill him most of the time. She also has attack interference immunity, so she won't be stunned by Deka as well. Eris applies attack interference immunity to your team, which can help mitigate Deka's damage. Deka relies a lot on the damage amplification of his skills to kill targets because it enhances the damage of his ultimate strike that comes after. Being immune to stuns will greatly reduce Deka's chances of killing your units. Buffs that aren't labeled as stat enhancements but still provide defensive traits can work around Deka's prohibition. Lulu and Sui provide heals and reflex that aren't labeled as stat enhancements. Lulu provides a stats weakening reflect that can severely weaken Deka's damage output. Sui's reflect can straight out kill Deka unless he is buffed by Hephaestus. So some synergies with Deka. Deka synergizes well with Sui, as Deka can cause Hephaestus buffed units to not receive their defense buff, which leaves them vulnerable to Sui's counter. Deka appreciates Hephaestus' buff because Deka can be vulnerable to debuffs or counters when he attacks. Serendia and Ebony can take advantage of Deka's large AoE as both supports provide the ability to apply debuffs on the attack. Serendia allows Deka to silence enemies, while Ebony gives Nullifier to Deka. Serendia also cleanses Deka of buffs while Ebony provides immunities. You could also take advantage of his atrocious wrath by providing him with Michaela's buff, although this strategy is not available in Novice Arena as Michaela is a 5-star unit. Remember that Deka can do a lot of damage if he's reduced to sub 100% health. Deka shares a set bonus with Magnus and Zarka. You probably don't want to play for the set bonus until both units get their plus 15 update. Magnus is pretty underwhelming, while Zarka is mostly a world boss unit right now. Okay, so from my opinion, Deka is a solid character. His newfound companion update gives him more utility and power that he needed to be a powerful contender in Novice Arena. Deka is very simple to use. He attacks with his large AoE and kills things. The things that he doesn't kill may be stunned or weakened. Stat Enhancement Prohibition is a fairly rare skill, and having Deka apply it with such long duration is very nice. Being simple to use makes sense for the character. Now I'm all for muscular men who are capable of deep and thought-provoking conversations, but Deka and his companion's backstory already gave off the hint that they're pretty stupid. Thus, you don't have to think too hard either when using them. Buff them, throw them into a mob of enemies, and you'll do fine. So should you build Deka? My answer is yes. He's the game's best plus tile skip attacker currently. He's also a 4-star, so building him is hardly an investment. What's even nicer about Deka as an investment is that he only needs to be plus 14. Plus 15 is not really necessary since plus 15 gives him a boost to Atrocious Wrath, which is kind of hard for a character like Deka to utilize. It can be clutch in some situations, but it's not a game changer. Overall, Deka is a very solid character, not much else to say. Thanks for watching my Deka Mercenary Spotlight. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful. Thank you.